Hello. Yes. Good evening to all the viewers. Good evening, Amlan. Good evening, Siddhi, Ashish. Good evening. Yes, I cannot hear you, but yes, I can watch your chats here. Right. So, welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh, and I'm here to present the Gazette magazine for 6th October 2021. Now, this is your daily guide to UPSC current affairs. And before we begin, there were a couple of very beautiful doubts that some of the students had asked, and it is actually worth discussing. So, we will discuss those. Yes, good evening, Narayan. Good evening to you as well. So the first one was a very good question that was about sovereign gold bonds, right? So yesterday we discussed a question which was about gold bonds, right? So we are talking of EGR, electronic gold receipts. Now this is one form in which anybody can invest money in golds, right? There are various ways in which government initiated ways to invest money in gold. Now, the background to this lies in the fact that Indians want to invest money in gold because gold is one commodity which has a price rise all the time. It hardly deflates and it goes on to rise. So gold touched as much as 55,000 rupees per 100 grams, right? And therefore, gold is one commodity in which value is put, right? Value. People put money. Now, because of this, tons and tons, around 800 to 900 tons of import of gold is done per annum, and it makes India one of those countries which has maximum amount of gold imports, and this also hurts the total imports as well because the export import balance has to be there. Therefore, the government introduced different programs related to gold so that we don't take the physical gold. In fact, if we have some gold, we can use it and give it back to the government. This is one of the schemes that was called as gold monetization scheme. Gold monetization scheme introduced in the year 2015. So if I have a physical gold asset, I can put it back to the bank and they will put it to good use and they will give me some money about it, right? Also, I will get certain money on this kind of giving back of this gold. So this becomes a part of the asset of the government. Monetize the gold which was kept at my home. It has been monetized. Somebody who actually needs gold can use it. It will not be lying at my home, but I will be earning because it is my gold. This is one. The other scheme was related to sovereign gold bonds. Yes, SGB. So sovereign gold bond. This is in case I have gold with me. That's true. Yes, Narayan. Sovereign gold bond scheme is in case I don't have gold, but I want to invest in gold. I don't need to purchase gold. In this gold monetization scheme, I had gold and I am giving it back. I am putting it to monetary use for everybody, right? And in this sovereign gold bond, I don't have gold. I will be placing gold, I'll be placing money in papers, in bond papers, and then they will be equated, these bond papers will be equated with the value of gold. I will also receive around 2.5% per annum interest rate on these gold bonds. Not only that, I will also receive the net value of gold. So after 5 years, if I sell this bond back, so I will be getting the increased value of gold, right? This paper will be at par with the gold. We are not importing physical gold. Now, just lately, the RBI has been thinking of introducing another scheme that is called as that is related to gold monetization again. So we are talking of gold exchange, right? Along with that, we are talking of electronic gold receipts. Now, what is this? I have gold. This is for those persons. I have gold and I am going to put this into gold vault. So we are putting it into gold vaults. That means we are securing it at some place and I will be getting some receipt on that. These are called as electronic gold receipts, right? And these can be traded further. So people won't have to buy gold. The person who initially had this gold, they had already purchased. But later, if this can be traded, it will not have to be bought later. The disadvantage here is that we are putting this at a gold vault and we will have to pay because we are putting our gold here. This is one. But the government is creating a gold exchange. What is a gold exchange? So bullion is for those kind of metals which are precious and they are to be traded. So just like we trade commodities, wheat, rice, and cement and iron, and we trade into different kind of equities, share, we will also trade into gold. And this is very good for any economy because if we trade into gold, we monetize particular entity, and this is good for economy because the value of the gold kept at home is not much, right? The value will be created if we monetize it, if we put it in the economy. So therefore, the most profitable scheme as of now is the sovereign gold bond scheme. We don't have to purchase anything, we don't have to pay to keep it in the vaults, and we will also get interest rate, right? So these are the different schemes. But in case people have gold already, in case people already have gold, they can monetize it or they can purchase these electronic gold receipts, right? So yesterday there was a good doubt, and all of you should know this because this is how we are trying to simplify the process of gold imports and reduce the burden on the exchequer for increased imports, right? Okay, good enough. The second doubt was related to another important topic, that was about the forest cover in the country, right? So somebody asked me a question: what is the difference between the forest area and the forest cover? Is there a difference between forest area, net forest area, and forest cover? Yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. Now, forest cover is largely the cover of the forest. We are talking of canopy density. Now, this comes right out of the Forest Survey of India report, right? This is a biennial report, that means produced once in 2 years. So 2019 report, all the reports previously, they have this same formula. So we try to calculate these three types of forest: very dense forest, moderately dense forest, and open forest, right? So how is this done? If an area has a net area of 1 hectare plus, net area of 1 hectare plus, and the canopy density means the tree cover. So suppose this is tree, and this has got this canopy. Canopy is the overlying shaded area that is getting covered because of tree leaves. So if the density of this is more than 70%, 70 to 100%, it comes as very dense forest. How are this calculated? This is calculated through satellite, right? So you can see this very dense forest because more than 70% of the land area will get covered because of the shade of this tree. More than 70%. Moderately dense forest, this is 40 to 70%, and then open forest is 10 to 40%. All these will come in forest area, right? All these three will be a part of forest cover. I'm sorry, this is a forest cover, right? Forest cover. And very interestingly, we don't have as much as a very dense forest in our country. We hardly have 3% of it out of the net 29.5, 18, 19, out of 22% of forest. We have 3% of very dense forest. We have around 9.5% of moderately dense, and only 9.5% of open forest in the country. So what is forest area then? If this is forest cover, what is forest area? Forest area is that area which the government has determined as a reserved forest. So reserved forest or protected forest. It is very much possible that these areas are reserved or protected forest, but there might be some dyssynchrony as well. So while most of the area is same, the government declaration of reserve forest could be a little different than what is the forest cover, right? So one good example of this is in this image. See, I have picked it up right from Forest Survey report of 2005. Now this is a complete forest area, right? So this is a forest cover. However, we see forest cover out of forest area here as well. So because the canopy density here is good, it is more than 10%, and it is more than 1 hectare of land. So this comes as forest cover. However, this is not a forest area because this is outside the government protected region, right? So some minor here and there differences are there, right? So this is the update. Now we will begin the discussion for today. See, these are very important topics, and these come up only in interactions. And I thank you that you asked these important doubts, right? Okay, so beginning the Gazette discussion for today immediately. Before that, hello to Akash, hello to Mehroon. I am doing well. How are you doing? I hope that you're enjoying these sessions. And before we begin, all I would like to have from you is one thumbs up, right? Because it is so important. This is the value that I earned from you people, and also the interactions. So these are valuable for me. So moving ahead, today's snapshot are three of them. First is Nobel Prize in Physics, right? Yesterday we discussed the one in chemistry, and now we will talk about the one in physics. Was it in chemistry yesterday or biology? It was. Let's see if people have it with them or not. Okay, the second one is on coal-based hydrogen production in India, and the third is the price of silicon, which is touching sky, which is going skyrocketing. Okay, this day in history is on 51 Pegasi B. What is it? Let's understand this. Okay. The featured news for today is on State of the World's Children Report. This has been published by UNICEF, and we will present this at 6:30 p.m. live today. I've been noting that few people become online while we talk of the featured news, whereas this is one news. If you cover daily, you will cover one thematic topic completely, holistically, and we will be able to prepare an answer or complete topic, right? And this can be put at multiple places. 6:30 live, we will talk about what this report talks about, what are the mental issues that children face, and how to overcome them. Image of the day is on one species of eagle, and its body has been found after millions of years. Terms and concepts for today: National Clean Air Program, white label ATMs, if you know what it means. The third one is India's import by 2050. We will see what happens to it by 2050. And gaming disorder, just like we studied eco anxiety yesterday, we have a gaming disorder as well. Editorials of today are on Mahatma Gandhi's his economic worldview. The second one is on AUKUS, and the third one is on refugee law that is much needed in the country. Case study of the day is about Karali Pattu from Kerala. Right, so we will start the discussion. Meanwhile, you have doubts, you post them. All right. Yes, Akash, it was medicine, it was not chemistry. In fact, for chemistry, it has been declared today. We will update that tomorrow. Right. So the way tradition is that Nobel Prize, initially they start with declaring for biology or medicine, and after that physics, and then chemistry, one successive day. Right. Narayan asks me one question. Please repeat forest area and cover, sir. Oh, well. Watch it immediately after the video, right? You will be able to understand it. So can you please repeat the figures of forest area and forest cover in India? It is very much similar. There is hardly any difference in the forest area and forest cover. However, there is a difference in definition. That's all it is. Hardly any difference. It is around 21.5%, right? Both of them. And there is something called as tree cover. Tree cover, that is a different concept. So segregated and differentiated trees, they're around 3% in India, and therefore total forest and tree cover, that comes to around 24.5%, right? So 21.5% of the forest cover or the forest area, and then around 3% of tree cover. Extra tree cover, segregated trees found at various places, less than 1 hectare of area, and they may be found at those places where there is no protected forest, right? We are talking of small urban areas where forests are located, right? Good technical questions you're asking. I'm happy that you have scientific approach towards studies. Very good. Because these times, pre-exam and mains exam has become just this much, right? Study current affairs, study and try to ask questions, what and why and where and how, and we'll be able to solve a lot of things. Okay, so first snapshot is on Nobel Prize in Physics, right? Yesterday we discussed that Nobel Prize was awarded to two American people for medicine and biology. It was on the basis of perception of heat, cold, or the amount of pressure that one causes in the body. What does it do? It stimulates. It's a quick revision. It stimulates some of our cells, only particular cells, and they transmit some or the other nerve impulse to our brain, and that is how the brain responds, right? So some particular type of ions that get transmitted could be like calcium ions, right? And only certain type of gates open while that kind of pressure is given to the body, and not every cell is equipped to act on those kind of impulses, right? So specific impulses were understood. They were studied by these scientists, and they understood that at certain heat, at certain cold, at certain amount of pressure, this body starts to react. Some particular ions, they trigger a mechanism along the neurological cells, and this is how the brain responds. How does the brain respond? In multiple ways. Brain responds by immediately reacting to it. Brain does respond by changing the temperature of the body. Brain does respond by some mechanism to get away from the threat, right? And this is how medicine will be able to advance itself, because there are certain people who do not feel that pain, right? And so there are certain people who feel a lot of pain. So those pain can be changed accordingly, right? So this is the advancement in biology. What is in physics? Now this physics award has been given to 3 people, right? And you should remember which are the countries who are getting these awards. Oh, before that, Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize is a Swedish prize, and it was based on Alfred Nobel, who dedicated all his money for this institution, Nobel Prize. So Sweden, we are talking of Stockholm, Sweden, and this is where the prize was initiated. This is world-renowned prize for 5 major themes, and later on one more theme was included. The 5 major themes are, if people know, you write them down right now. So this is physics, and then we have chemistry, then we have medicine, biology, and then we have one for literature, and then another one for peace, Nobel Peace Prize. And after that, one more was initiated that was in the field of the one in which Amartya Sen received the prize. We are talking of economic science. So 6 of them have been initiated by the Nobel Prize, and it is instituted per year, per annum. It is given to people around the world who have made considerable progress for humanity in the previous year, right? So this prize specifically was given, this prize was given to these 3 people. So one is Parisi, and the second one is Sukoro, and the third one is Claus. Now, these first 2 people, Sukoro and Claus, this is a Japanese American scientist, meteorologist, and then we have Claus, he's a German based meteorologist and climatologist, and then we have Parisi. Parisi is an Italian, and he's a physicist, right? So 2 are climatologists and 1 is a physicist. Now, these 2 people are sharing the award, and this person is getting the rest of the award. This is equivalent to 10 million in the currency of this particular country. We are talking of Sweden. It comes to around $1.5 million, right? So 2 people will be sharing half of the prize, and 1 person will be receiving 1 separate prize. Why? Because both of them had participated in one exploration, and this person, Parisi, had participated in another exploration. So what did they do? These first 2 people, they studied the climate change, and they studied human impact on climate change. Human impact on climate change. So this is what the first 2 people did, and this becomes very important considering that we will have one COP26 at Glasgow very soon, right? So what they have done, it might impact the mandate of this new COP, Conference of Parties, right? And what has Parisi done? There are random events around the universe happening, right? And they might not be actually that random. The way Earth moves around the sun, it might not be as random as we think. And this is how he kept studying on this. He kept studying on this for years and years. And now he has found that there is a pattern in this randomness. And because of this, he has been given this prize, right? So he discovered that there's some hidden rules which are causing these kind of random changes, but they are not actually random. There are some hidden rules. So this is the brief profile of these 3 people. Also keep noting, these people belong to those developed countries, right? We are talking of Italy, we're talking of Germany and Japan and America. And yesterday, the 2 people who got the award were from America. Now, this also talks about the development of innovation and scientific temperament in these countries, right? So just keep noting that. Okay, the second snapshot is on coal-based hydrogen production, right? Meanwhile, Priya, yes, literature. Siddhi says economic. Yes, absolutely correct, both of you. Now, to remind you, how many Indians got these Nobel Prize? If you have some name, you do type that there, right? So I do remember one person, Rabindranath Tagore, right? And then we have Mother Teresa. She became an Indian. She was awarded Peace Prize. And after that, we have C.V. Raman. Right, we did have somebody called as Kailash Satyarthi, right? Kailash Satyarthi. And we did have another individual in the field of economy. We are talking of Amartya Sen, right? And we did have n number of people who were of Indian origin and they shifted abroad, right? So do try to recollect those people and put them if I missed some of them, right? Second snapshot is on coal-based hydrogen production. Now, coal is very much in focus these days, of good reasons and bad reasons both. Now, coal is one of the kind of fossil fuel which produces a lot of greenhouse gases, right, while burning it. So therefore, we try to have some mechanisms in which coal could produce cleaner energy. How can it do it? Suppose if coal is not burned, if coal, while getting mined, if it is converted into a purer form of gas, this technique is called as coal gasification. So this has been tried. Now, India is one country which is utilizing coal to its extremes. So around 60% of energy generation, electricity generation happens through coal. And around 80% of these coal fields are owned by Coal India Limited. So Coal India has got almost a monopoly over this. Therefore, we are trying to diversify this mechanism to have various ways in which coal can be given to various industries, cleaner industries. So this time we are talking of the hydrogen economy, right? Now, I have discussed this quite a few times about hydrogen economy, how it is going to run. See, hydrogen is one of the fuel which can be utilized to create energy, right? So, but hydrogen itself has to be created. It is not available in our atmosphere, and hydrogen needs to be created. Hydrogen can be created by giving energy. Energy can be given in various forms. It can be cleaner or dirtier form. If it is cleaner form of energy, suppose if we are using renewable energy to create hydrogen, this yields green hydrogen. So in match of the following, this kind of question can come, right? So we are talking of if we provide cleaner energy, wind energy or solar energy, it creates green hydrogen, and then it can be utilized for production of cleaner energy, right? So green hydrogen. Then we have some hydrogen in case we are using coal, or in case we are using natural gas and it is dirtying the atmosphere, because while we produce hydrogen, some byproducts will be produced, and if they are dirty in nature, that means global warming is getting caused and it is getting released in the atmosphere. This will be called as gray hydrogen. Simple, very simple, gray hydrogen. But if we are sequestering that byproduct, if you are capturing that carbon dioxide production, then it will be called as blue hydrogen production, and all of them eventually will lead to production of energy. There will be no impairment, there will be no issue of production of energy here. Just on the basis of how hydrogen is created, we are naming them as gray, blue or green. And there's something called as turquoise hydrogen. This is a combination of blue and gray hydrogen, right? So there is a lesser degree of the production of the global warming gases in turquoise. So these are the mechanisms. Now the government says that now news reports are there all around in the newspapers saying that coal prices have risen, gas prices have risen. We have covered that the first day itself when it came, right? So what happened is that since Coal India is not able to provide adequate amount of coal for processes like this, what are we trying to do? We have initiated mechanisms in which the private companies, the captive mines also will be providing coal. So these are the times when there is a lot of rain, and Coal India is a government company, does not plan for future, and during the times of rain, all the coal mines, right, the pits, they are all covered with water, and therefore mining stops. This is one reason why coal prices have gone up, right? Also, this coal that we use, this coal, Indian coal, that is lignite coal and bituminous coal, right? So lower grade of coal, and it is used for energy production. Hardly any amount of coal is used for the iron production, right? In iron industry, most of it is imported, right? And 60% of it is imported from Malaysia. Some of it is also imported. These are high grade coal, anthracite, bituminous coal we import from Australia and Malaysia, right? So Coal India is not able to provide energy. So that is why we are trying to use these captive mines. 50% of their complete mining capacity can be again sold to these companies which require energy, right? And hardly few days of energy are left in PSUs which are into this generation of electricity through coal. We are talking of NTPC and companies like that. And therefore, this is one mechanism. Import have already declined. Why? Because China has got shortage of coal. China has its own reasons. We know that few of the reasons. One, China has barred the production of coal because of COVID times. This is one. So there's a dysfunction there. The second reason is China is trying to curtail its global warming greenhouse gas production. That is why increased cuts, and that has resulted in a huge chaos globally as well. And the third reason is the Winter Olympics which are going to be held in China. China is trying to depict itself as a cleaner economy. So these are China's reasons, and now there has been a shortfall. But the government is saying we will still create the new form of hydrogen with the help of coal, right? So coal, and then we will try to use the blue hydrogen technique. Why? Because if coal is being used, we are creating some amount of byproducts which are not good for atmosphere. We will have to sequester them. So remember this word, sequester. Okay. Yes, somebody wrote Abhijit Banerjee. Yes, Abhijit Banerjee was awarded one of the Nobel Prize, but do check if he's an Indian or not, right? All right. So this is under National Hydrogen Mission that was declared by the Prime Minister just in the Independence Day speech. All right. So in case you have not liked the video, do share some love. Do like it. Like is the least thing that you would be able to do for us right now, right? Okay. Next, moving ahead, price surge of silicon. Now, just like there has been a price surge in the electronic components, the chip manufacturing industry, silicon industry is very much related. Now, just like we have these final medicines, and those final medicines are prepared with the help of something called as API, active pharmaceutical ingredients. So these are those minerals with the help of which we actually prepare the whole medicine. So if we talk of a Disprin tablet, we are talking of a Dolo tablet, it has got certain small elements, and these elements are APIs. Mixture of them forms the medicine. Now, APIs are also imported in India. Similarly, silicon is also imported in India, largely from one country, yes, China. Now, China processes it and exports it to various economies, but there's been a shortfall of it. Now, silicon is one of those important ingredients which is which lays the foundation for manufacturing of semiconductor chips. Not only semiconductor chips, but the complete circuit board, printed circuit board. And only if this silicon is available, this is manufactured. So this is the API, active. In analogical terms, this is the API. Silicon is the API for electronics industry. And the prices, you can see, have gone well over 3 times. And this is the reason that this kind of mineral, which is abundantly available, because sea beaches we find the silica, no, anything that shines, silicon oxide, that is related to silica. So that is available in abundance, but that is not refined, right? So that is not available, and this is why a lot of industries have halted production around the world. We are talking of car industry, we're talking of airline industry, we're talking of aluminium industry. See, aluminium is mixed with silicon so that it does not become brittle, so that it does not break easily, right? These are the industries. Engine blocks, engine is created by mixing silicon with the metals, right? Along with that, this silicon mixed chemical, it is used for ultra conductivity. So we are talking of semiconductor chips again, and this is also enhanced, this shortage is enhanced by global energy crisis, that is again emanating from a country like China and Russia. So these are the kind of crisis, and it has led to 3 times price surge in silicon, right? Okay. Moving ahead, this day in history we have dedicated to 51 Pegasi b. What is 51 Pegasi b? This is the satellite. This is the planet which revolves around 51 Pegasi. This is a star, and these 2 of them were explored on October 6, 1995, right? So this was the importance of this exploration, that the person who explored himself got a Nobel Prize, right? Now, Nobel Prize in what? Physics, right? Now, what is important about is that suppose this is the planet and this is the star, they are very closely related, they are very proximal to each other, and therefore this gas-like planet, it survives in close proximity to its star. The star name is 51 Pegasi, and the name of satellite is 51 Pegasi b, right? One more important concept to understand here is that this the union of these 2 is called as tidally locking. So what is tidal lock? Tidal lock means the phase of the star and the phase of the planet, they all will be in sync all the time. So this phase of the planet and this phase of the star, they will all the time be at the same place, right? There'll be no point of time when there'll be another phase of the planet which will be visible to another point in the star. This is called as getting tidally locked, right? So this is this day in history. Okay, now we have the State of World Children report. We will discuss this by UNICEF, one of the flagship reports of UNICEF, and we will discuss this beautiful report and what it says in a time of just 10 minutes at 6:30. All right. Okay. Image of the day is on the unknown species of eagle. Now, one unknown species of eagle that existed millions of years back, it's some of its fossil have been found, right? So this is the news, and eagle is one of those organisms which has something called as fuzzy logic. We are creative people, but there are some organisms which are designed right from their birth. The mental framework and the whole design is for survival, and that is the reason that they have these kind of beaks, the beaks which have twists so that they can tear through the flesh of their prey. Not only that, these eyes, the hawk eyes, they're very sharp and they can see their prey from quite a distance, and they are very, very sharp with their claws as well. So some good qualities which adapted them during those times, and that is how they do exist as of now as well. Terms and concept. Yes, Akash, gray or black hydrogen. Yes, I had discussed black hydrogen as well. Yes, I will get back to you. By the way, the image that I did show, that has been taken from World Economic Forum. So Akash talks of the presence of, okay, let me go back. Let me go back to this. Yes. Gray, blue, turquoise, and green hydrogen. This image that I have taken is from World Economic Forum report, right? If you search online, you will be able to find this. If you go to Edukemy's website, we will also tell you the source article from where we have drawn this article. So these are credible articles, and that is why we have discussed gray, blue, turquoise, and green hydrogen from World Economic Forum. Yes, I have also studied the concept of gray and black hydrogen. I will get back to you on this, right? So, but yes, this information is definitely credible. Okay, moving ahead. to terms and concept. The first term and concept for news is National Clean Air Program. So what is the update? The update is very simple. The government has provided New Delhi with some certain amount of money to be able to handle this kind of crisis, right? Now, this is under the program National Clean Air Program, and this program is to reduce the particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10 by 20 to 30% by the year 2024. So this is the main plan under. So this is the crux that you have to remember, right? Whatever I've highlighted here. And what are they trying to do? They are trying to set up a national emission inventory. So how much of emission is happening from what place and what time? This is one. They're also trying to develop an air information center for data analysis, right? And after that, guidelines for indoor pollution and rural monitoring stations. So this is what they're trying to do through this kind of money. It has also been funded by various institutions, international, Swiss Development, World Bank, etc. Okay, white label ATMs. What are these ATMs? See, are ATMs always operated by those banks? So if we have PNB, ICICI, SDFC Bank, do they always operate their own ATMs? Not necessarily. We have got white label ATMs, and these are operated by non-bank companies. So what are we talking of? We are talking of Tata Communications. We're talking of companies like Vakrangi. Vakrangi is that company which was also participant in Aadhaar registrations, right? So these are the kind of Muthoot Finance. These are the kind of companies which participate in formation of white label ATMs. So they do get some amount of revenue through this. However, they are not banks. They are not banks, and they can give all the facilities that a bank does. They will link us to all the banks that we have to link us to, and the payments and everything will be as simple as, the procedure will be as similar as what happens in the bank ATMs, right? So these white label ATMs, do remember. By the way, there are other ATMs also with different color codes, right? In case you know some, do type here. Yes, Narayan says Tata white label ATMs. That's true. Okay. Moving on to India's imports by 2050. Just now I spoke of gold imports. We have been speaking about oil imports. And India, if continues in this track, India will be the country which will be the third largest importer by 2050, right? Now, very important thing to understand here is that the kind of imports that we have and the kind of import other countries have, the top countries in imports, we should see that difference. What are we importing? What are they importing? Now, 80% of India's fuel is imported. We are importing those kind of ingredients which are not really important tangibly. Is gold important? Or can we have this gold-linked bonds? Gold-linked bonds are important. If we only have to invest, why not invest in something that can create a part of economy, or it can generate value, similar value as that of gold, but we are not importing the physical gold, right? So let us look at what other countries import. They import food, travel services, digital services. Now, these are the kind of services we can actually get dependent upon. But if we are getting dependent on auxiliary services like gold imports, this can be avoided. If we are depending ourselves on import of fuel, this is very critical for energy security of the country, and we should not be dependent on those terms. And that is why, see, travel, what is travel? So while we want to travel, we are paying some money, and this is the kind of import for another country, right? So these are the kind of imports, happy imports, right? But India is destined to become the third largest importer on the basis of these kind of goods, which are either not very, very useful or which are so critical that they are not worth importing. They are worth creating by oneself. And in fact, India will be the fourth largest importer just by 2030. See, India will be amongst the largest countries of certain imports, of population, of something related, maximum number of internet users, maximum number of Facebook users, all because of our population, right? So imports by 2050. Gaming disorder, India, again, India is the second in number in gaming disorders after South Korea. Why? Because we have high population. And in fact, I will not disagree to say that I was one of the people who was addicted to PUBG during the first lockdown, right? But soon this culture, it must go away. And in case you people are addicted, you are in gaming disorder. Yesterday we studied eco-anxiety, right? Ecological and anxiety. So now we have gaming disorder. These are the new important terms. They must be in your mouth all the time, and they must be in your writings as well, because these are the new key terms and concepts. If you write, if you speak of, People will understand you as somebody who knows something, right? So this gaming disorder is something that has been a gift of the pandemic, right? Because people are at home, and many people have supposedly missed their work because of gamings. And what are you talking about missing office? Talk about missing studies, right? So all right, other people are also saying me too. Great, me too movement here as well. Okay, very good. All right, so moving ahead, editorials of the day. Today's first editorial is on Mahatma Gandhi and his world view on economy. See, a lot has been spoken about Mahatma Gandhi and society, his views on polity and society, how he treats caste, how he treats people from different communities. But what about his what about his opinions on economy? There has been less things spoken about economy. However, he has always appreciated the participation of excellent and talented people in economy. And that is the reason he had said that probably one of the mechanisms to have excellence in the field of economy is through inheritance. The son or the daughter will inherit the traits of their father, the traits, professional traits of their father, and this will lead to more of excellence. So he has always supported economic excellence as well, something that is not known to people widely. So he has always supported creating wealth and prosperity. Yes, he has also spoken of egalitarian society, but he has never refrained from saying that there must be excellence and talented persons in economy as well. Along with that, he has also supported feminism. So he has supported economic orders which support feminism, and feminism supporting economy, right? So he spoke of Nai Talim, a new system of education where there is better eye-hand coordination, right? He spoke of the balance between the left brain and the right brain. Does anybody know? If you know what is on the left side and what is on the right side, which is the creative side, which is the logical side, you please write that down and tell me. Meanwhile, he spoke that there must be balance on the creative side and the logical side, and that is how a person will be able to live a balanced life, right? This is something we will speak about in mental health balance also in the feature news today, right? So this is Mahatma Gandhi's view of economy, right? Excellence in economy. AUKUS. Now, we have discussed n number of articles on AUKUS, and this is another quick summary. We might discuss in totality this article later along with one more article, right? So right now I'd like to share with you that this formation of AUKUS is not only an opportunity, it could be a challenge also for India. See, how is it an opportunity? It is an opportunity for India because America has realigned its focus from Afghanistan towards China, directly confronting China. And this is good for our nation because we will have better partners. We will have partners like Australia, America, UK ahead of us countering China. And this is good for India. How is it a challenge for us? It is a challenge for us because India has been sidelined now. America, along with Australia, countries like New Zealand and Japan, they are leading this game right now, right? And India has been sidelined from the picture in the South China Sea region. So this is one challenge that India needs to counter. And this is where the role of Quad and its distinction from AUKUS is there. AUKUS, right now, whatever people are speculating and understanding about, AUKUS is only an organization to transfer technology, military services from one country to another. Advanced country to advanced country. And Quad is an initiative. It is a multi-sectoral initiative between these four important countries: Japan, Australia, India, and USA. So therefore, this is the kind of distinction, and it is an opportunity or a threat. It is for India to use it wisely. So quick summary of that. Why India needs a refugee law. We have discussed refugee law a number of times, 2-3 times, and yes, and somebody has written a comment. They say, but it can also be seen critically as we are being able to person's right to choice of profession. Yes, Ashish talks about, Ashish has mentioned that he has questioned Gandhiji's view that if we are talking about the inheritance of that particular trait, then is it not, a parochial mindset, a narrow mindset of an individual of how society should be? What if person wants to change their profession? What if a cobbler's son does not want to be a cobbler? What in case farmer's son does not want to be a farmer? And yes, Mahatma Gandhi has been rightfully criticized on that, right? So I am not opining on whether his view was correct or wrong, just that presenting his views through the article itself. Yes, and you are correct here. You're correct here. Okay, so the third editorial is on India's refugee law. Now, if you search refugee Edukemy on Google, you will be able to find that article. If you search refugee Edukemy on YouTube, you will find a complete feature article regarding what is the refugee status in our country. Right? What is the refugee status around the world? We have covered one important report of United Nations on refugees, and it talks about the fact that there are 1% refugees around the world, 1%, and the proportion of refugees has doubled in the last 10 years. Imagine that. Right? It has doubled, it has not gone down. Even during COVID lockdown times, people were displaced, right? And it was forced displacement. This report itself was forced displacement report of the United Nations, right? Now, India has got humanitarian obligations, so that if people from Afghanistan, if people from Myanmar, if people from Sri Lanka, if people from Nepal, so India is occupied with such kind of neighbors which have turmoil in their domestic territories. Not only that, there is something called as internal displacement. Now, when we had these cyclones in India, we are talking of cyclone Yas, Tauktae, and we are talking of a very important cyclone which happened last year, Amphan, a super cyclone. It resulted in the internal displacement of millions of people in India and Bangladesh, right? And if this kind of displacement is happening, India needs to have a policy for not only refugees, but also for internal displacement, right? India cannot move ahead with a strategic policy where India does not declare what it wants to do. There must be equality, equanimity, and equity in these kind of policies, right? So this is what is the call of this editorial, right? There must be transparency and predictability in India's policy towards refugees. Search those future news articles on YouTube or on Google, and you will be able to find them and appreciate them. All right, today's case study is on Kalari Pattu. Now, this has been asked in the UPSC question sometime or the other. What is this particular thing? What is it? Is it a dance? Is it a drama? It is a martial art? Is it some temple architecture type? What is it? Now, this is a technique of martial arts, ancient martial arts followed in Kerala, and the case study is about a lady who is as old as around 80 years of age. We are talking of Meenakshi Amma, and you can see here her image rightly here. She has continued this practice for ages. She tries to preserve it, and she is the epitome. She is the epitome of women empowerment. Why? Because she wants that women participate in these kind of skills so that they are able to defend themselves, right? Now, these are the times when we see increased violence against women. Do we not? We do. And that is why such kind of examples can be quoted very easily. We studied the example of vertical gardening just day before yesterday. And yesterday, we studied the example of one important lady who was also a feminist leader. Name her, right? Name her if you know it. Yes, Kamala Bhasin. So, all you have to do is just remember the name and one example of what they have done. So we are talking of Amma here, and Amma is one practitioner and securer of these kind of tradition. We are talking of Kalari Pattu tradition, right? And this is very good. The quote of the day says, the world needs strong women. Is it not true? Yes, it is true. So that they preserve the family values, they preserve the humanitarian values in society setup also. And this is where we come to the end of the Gazette discussion. If you like this video, do start some love on us. That is all we want through likes, comments, and shares. If you subscribe to the channel, you will receive timely updates. In just 10 minutes from now, we will begin our featured news discussion, and see you there. Thanks for watching. Okay, Narayan asked me a question. I'll respond to this in the comment section after this video series ends.